Mark Gurman just came out with a new bombshell report talking about Apple's September event that is happening in less than 1 month, and he revealed the Apple event date, which is totally unexpected to me because Apple usually hosts their September events on a Tuesday, usually the second Tuesday of the month. But no, he gave us a date of September 7th, which is a Wednesday, and he also gave us his reasoning for it, exactly what to expect at this event and what not to expect, because he talked about some other leaks for other Apple devices coming later this year, which I'm also going to talk about. So before I get into all of those interesting details, I do want to quickly mention the different devices that we should be expecting at this September event happening on the 7th. First of all, we're getting the iPhone 14 lineup, which is no longer going to have a mini model, and instead of that mini, we're going to be getting a larger regular iPhone 14 model with a 6.7-inch display for the first time, because you usually have to pay $1,100 for the Pro Max model. Well, not anymore. You're going to be getting a cheaper iPhone 14 Plus or Max for around $900. But what I think is going to be really special this year is actually the Pro models, because they are getting some major changes, specifically finally getting rid of that notch that has been around since the iPhone 10. Yes, we're moving to a dual hole punch design with kind of a pill shape and a hole next to each other, and that is going to look sweet because it's going to allow Apple to slam down the bezels and make them look really nice and thin. And the way they're going to be able to do that is by slimming down the speaker grill to like this razor thin line at the top of the screen, so it's going to be barely noticeable and it's going to look amazing. Now on the other side, we're going to be getting a new 48 megapixel camera that is capable of shooting 8K video at 60 FPS, which I think is going to be amazing. This is going to be the biggest iPhone camera revolution since probably ever. This is going to be a major difference in terms of the actual camera quality, and Apple is going to be doing it right this year compared to a lot of the other Android brands that have 8K that looks worse than Apple's 4K, and that's because Apple's going to be building in 8K, HEVC, H.264, and ProRes encoders and decoders that are going to take the processing load off of the actual chip itself and just do that all on the media engine. So it's going to be super efficient and it shouldn't heat up as much as a lot of people are expecting. So that's going to be amazing. Then we also have 3 new Apple Watch models. Yes, all 3 are going to be new because they're getting rid of the Series 3. So they're going to have the Apple Watch SE 2, they're going to have the regular Series 8, and a brand new Apple Watch Pro model, which I've made videos talking about what to expect on that. Now, the interesting thing is that we just got a report saying that Apple is finally moving some production of their MacBook and Apple Watch models over to Vietnam, and that's because they want to diversify their supply chain and have less reliance on China, because there's some weird things going on there right now and they're trying to get out of it slowly. So that's a good thing for them, and it means we could have less Apple Watch shipping delays, which is good for all of us. Now, Mark also mentioned the 10th generation iPad, but it seems like he thinks it's coming later in the fall, which is weird because it usually comes at Apple's September event, at least the last 3 models that we've had. And specifically, in a tweet that he just posted, he confirmed that yes, the 10th generation iPad is coming likely in October. So why the delay? Well, first of all, Apple has officially delayed iPadOS 16 by about a month, which means it's probably coming in October. And on top of that, this is going to be the first major budget iPad redesign in many years, with new flat sides, Apple Pencil 2 support, and a USB Type-C port. So maybe that's also why they could be delaying this model by 1 month. Now, moving on to what we should expect, interestingly, he didn't mention the AirPods Pro 2 at all, which is odd because I thought it could be coming alongside the iPhone lineup because it should be getting upgraded to Bluetooth 5.2 with a new LC3 codec and lossless support finally. But maybe, based on Mark's report, maybe it's not going to come until later in the fall as well. So with that said, I am super excited for this event, especially since it's happening so early in the month. month. So we're gonna have iPhone 14 models in our hands on September 16th, according to Mark Gurman, which is less than a month from today. That is amazing. Now, as far as the reasoning for the event happening on Wednesday the 7th instead of Tuesday, Mark Gurman tweeted out that the reason is because Monday is Labor Day, leaving Tuesday as a travel day, which is why they chose Wednesday the 7th. And also, Apple did just change their employment rules, requiring employees to return to the office 3 times per week starting September 5th, which seems to be a clue for the event happening on the 7th. Now, moving on to the other things he mentioned in his new article, Mark also mentioned a couple of new products we shouldn't expect until later in the fall, and some of these are quite surprising. First of all, he believes the M2 iPad Pro models are coming later this year, likely in October, which I agree with, and those are expected to come with new wireless MagSafe charging features. Now, he also mentioned a couple of Macs that Apple is apparently looking to launch before the end of the year, including new versions of the Mac Mini and high-end MacBook Pros with M2-based processors. Now, this is interesting because I personally predicted that those new M2 Pro and M2 Max MacBook Pros would not come until the spring of next year, because I believe Apple is going to have a 1.5-year timeline for these MacBook releases, especially since we just got the M2 MacBook Air 1.5 years after the M1 model. And I also believe that Apple is going to hold off until the spring because they want to build their M2 Pro and M2 Max chips on TSMC's new 3nm process node instead of the current N5P 5nm process node. But when I spoke to Mark Gurman in an exclusive interview, he disagreed with that theory and said it should be built on 5nm just like the M2 MacBook Air. But honestly, it's a really tough call, and he definitely has more credibility and reputation than I do, but I'm still holding strong with my thoughts on a spring event launch with those high-end MacBook Pros on 3nm instead of 5nm. Now, as far as the Mac Mini, Mark said Apple is planning to launch it this year as well, and I totally agree. I think it's happening in October or November, and we're gonna see the Mac Mini regardless of whether it's gonna have a redesign or not, which Mark thinks it's not gonna have a redesign. I'm still not really sure about that point. Maybe Apple will just add some ports to the front of the current design like the Mac Studio, who knows? But either way, we still have some time to go for those new leaks to flow in about those Mac models. But for now, we've got to focus on these awesome new iPhones and Apple Watches and other products coming on September 7th. So if you're as excited as I am, let me know down in the comment section below and click that circle above to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.